Yeah, you're like, I don't want to go to jail. Please put on my regular helmet.
So put on a real helmet, which is super funny. But I remember the drive back, and I'm just like with the nurses and stuff, or the people in the ambulance, EMTs, and they thought I was going to die. And there was that moment where I said, well, God's got something for me. Like there's an intention for my life. It was so clear that whatever was going to cross my path, I was just going to do. And that's important to the story because I would have never chose art. Like I love to doodle and stuff, but I was not like art.
Yeah.
So I get out of the Marine Corps and I take 6 months off, take my new Harley to Sturgis. Got right back on.
Yeah, you just well, fell off.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah.
I got right back on. Took it to Sturgis, lived my life for a little bit. And that 6 months, I didn't have to use my brain very much. Going to war is one of the simplest things in your mind because you legitimately just say, don't die. Like that's your thought process is don't die. You're not, I need to pay rent today. I need to go get groceries. That's what I mean by easy. Not like it's easy to be in war, but it's an easy mentality. If you're just like, I'm just going to go out, try not to die and come back. You forget about everything else. So you don't use your brain. That's why that 4 months I was there, I didn't use my brain much because I was like, oh, I'm pretty safe, but I'm not worrying about bills. I'm not worrying about anything besides writing home.
Yeah.
So now I have 6 months I'm taking off when I get home from war. I'm not using my brain again. I'm just riding my Harley to Sturgis, hanging out with friends, doing some stuff. And I decide, okay, time for me to get a job and go to school. Well, with a really poor family and a Montgomery GI Bill, so not the post 9/11 GI Bill, Montgomery GI Bill, I was like, I'm going to go to a community college for 2 years, get my associates, and then go to state college for the next 2 years and collect on the Illinois grant for veterans, which gave me money, and the Montgomery GI Bill, which gave me money.
Did you have the option to select the post 9/11 at that
Not
point?
yet. No. In 2003, it wasn't in existence. At least they didn't give us that option. The only option I had was to pay extra on my Montgomery GI Bill, which gave me another year, which I'm glad I did, because after I was done with it, they gave me a year of the post 9/11 because I paid extra on the Montgomery GI Bill.
Okay.
So I started going to school and I started working at like Dick's Sporting Goods or something, and that was the first time that I started realizing my brain there was an issue there. The first one was like when I was trying to put up all those little stickers for the fishing reels or like fishing lures, my mind would slow down so much that it felt like a laggy computer where if I like scan this room right now, it was like chunks were missing. But it was only when I was in environments that had a lot, like my eye was looking a lot of places, like all those little QR codes or barcodes. And then if I would go to a mall, same thing, extreme headaches and like laggy. My brain would just lag. Then when I started going to school, and it reminds you, I guarded the president. I was prom king, class clown, could do anything in front of anybody. I started physically getting sick before school. The biggest issue was if I didn't know someone was in the classroom, I couldn't go in there.